Well, it might not be enough to solve the drought problems here in the Golden State, but it sure is coming down pretty good here in Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Oakland Raiders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. Kill. OP.
Throwing on first down is Carr. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, here we go. Sponge. 93.
Here's Carr. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
First and 10 at the 17-yard line.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Check.
Now a give, right side. Bernard. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
I got it.
Now Carr. That's complete. Bernard. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Down. You got to wedge that up. 180. Hey, we're good. 185. Well, Dumbo.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
The 6-yard line.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Carr under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Whitney merciless in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Carr. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders! Antonio Brown with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go. Take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now it's Watson. He's got Jack Doyle. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Watson now to throw. Completes it to Jason Witten. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
With it is Brown. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. That, folks, is a 94-yard punt return. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This one taken from the 7. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Watson. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Another try after the first down sack. Watson, man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The kick by Bryant is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. And he will find his man on the outside. Second quarter from Oakland, the homestanding Raiders with the football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Carl come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Throwing now is Carr. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On 2nd and 10, Carr is going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, he'll force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
A 1st down carry now for Miller. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Miller. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. A shotgun snap for Watson. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked there by Nick Nelson. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. If you play in the back seven on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Carr going to throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Raider first down, 17 yards. Carr now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Now a carry for Bernard. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. From midfield, here's Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. 50 catches for him now on the year. He's got a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Bernard. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
We're good. 185.
Carr down to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. What we got?
From the gun, it's Carr. Gets it to his running back, Bernard. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Check 26, check 26.
On first down, Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Carr will try it again on second down. And this is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Throwing his Carr on third down. He gets it to Brown, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
And the Raider first down. First and 10 at the 31.
Carr now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. First and 10. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, second and 10.
Blue down, blue down. Kill, 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 kill. White, 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 white.
Now Bernard. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They got to get it to the 21 here on third down. Operating from the gun, Carr. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Hey, we got to snap it. We got to push on. Let's go.
From the gun, here's Watson. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's got the hook up to Miller. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Set. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Now Brown. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Now, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, Carr. This will be caught by Brown. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 25 yards that time.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
6-18.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Carr. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
All day, defense, all day, all day. Shit.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Aaron Colvin there to make the tackle.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
185. Your mind.
Again, here's Bernard. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
It's 3rd down and
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Carr. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The kick by Carlson is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays, yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll toss it to Miller. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. He can run for it, and he will. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the 1st. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. After the run, Watson going to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the 1st. Still in search of their 1st touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Watson. Completes it to Jason Witten. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Open man is Miller. He's got it. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Watson now operating from the gun. It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That goes for a gain of 31.
Texans, first down.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now in the East Bay. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. 3 receivers head out right, 1 to the left on 2nd and 3. Again, it's Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Now that's a catch of some significance. It's number 631 of his career, and why that's significant, it ties him with Hall of Famer Raymond Berry.
He was one of the most precise route runners at any position during his time in his career. So I think that we're seeing something very similar here. He may not have known Raymond Berry, but he goes about his business the same way. Understands how defenses are going to play, understands where the leverage is, and goes away from it to the tune of 631 catches.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. And no pitch there, and no chance either, as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to pull a bit closer. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. And the lead cut down to 9.
Next to score, Raiders 19, Texans 10. Matt Bryant set to kick off.
Yeah, after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 36-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Check 24. Check 24.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They go back to the ground, this time Clement. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That really sets him back. A loss of 6. Now on 2nd and 16. Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. They'll buy some time right. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. On first down, Watson. They'll roll him out right. And this will be incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. On first down, it's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To the air yet again. Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Watson looks to throw again. Left side, Doyle with it. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Right down. Right.
On first down, Carr. On the screen, Bernard. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On second down, Bernard. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Brings up third down and 6.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
93.
Throwing his Carr on third down. Got the connection here to Bourne. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Kendrick Bourne, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Out of the gun, Watson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time. And that'll bring up second down. Throwing again is Watson. Got an open man, it's QT. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as they are able to cut into that lead. So the touchdown was big, this almost equally big as he'll try to get it to a one-score game with a 2-point conversion. And that one is caught. So they convert here, and don't look now, but this one's back to a one-score game. So here we go. They'll need the recovery, obviously, then a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
They'll run on first down. Bernard. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
At the Texans' 41-yard line.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
Let's put that team on the front.
Carr going to look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
A good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Now Carr. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the draw, here's Bernard. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Down. 180.
Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Play that time deep. Don't let him breathe, defense.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Raiders, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8. And they'll get another home date next week as the Saints will come to town. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.